Good morning, children. Today we will discuss the topic proteins. Now, what are proteins? Proteins are chemically they are condensation polymers in which monomeric units are alpha amino acids. The monomeric units of proteins. Protein is a polymer. It is a big molecule which is formed from number of alpha amino acids. ठीक है, पहले अल्फा अमीनो एसिड्स विल कंबाइन टुगेदर पेप्टाइड्स एक्चुअली दे आर पॉलीएमाइड्स. ओके, अमाइड फंक्शनल ग्रुप वाले molecules they are known as proteins. So the alpha amino acids, this is the general structure of an alpha amino acid. See, R CH2 CH NH2 COOH. This is the general form of alpha amino acid. There is an alkyl group, R group, it is an alkyl chain. NH2 at the alpha position. What is alpha position? Alpha position is that position next, the carbon next to the COOH. There is any functional group. In this case, COOH is the functional group, principal functional group. उसका next जो carbon है, that is called as alpha carbon. And alpha carbon में there is an amine group. Therefore, it is known as अल्फा एमिनो एसिड. ठीक है, और ये अल्फा एमिनो एसिड का जनरल फॉर्म है ये. अब ये R कैन वेरी एंड डिपेंडिंग ऑन R देयर आर नंबर ऑफ एमिनो एसिड्स पॉसिबल. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज केमिकली प्रोटीन? केमिकली प्रोटीन इज द पॉलीमर ऑफ एमिनो एसिड्स. Polymer means large number of amino acids are joined together to give you a big chain of molecules which is called as proteins. ठीक है, तो अगर प्रोटीन्स को हम हाइड्रोलाइज कर देते हैं, ब्रेक डाउन कर देते हैं, then it gets converted to peptides. Peptides again undergoes hydrolysis and give you alpha amino acid. Followed everyone? So this is the general structure of an alpha amino acids. Now when you come to physical properties of alpha amino acids, in page number 4.420 you have been given various amino acids in the table form. In the tabular form it is given to you. Okay, so that is called as the classification of amino acids based on the nature, that is whether it is acidic, basic or neutral. So everyone, I want every one of you to open the textbook, and in textbook page number 420 you will have various amino acids given. ठीक है, those amino acids you will classify it as basic, acidic and neutral. So amino acids you can classify into basic amino acids, neutral amino acids and acidic amino acids. So in the table the first one is given as glycine, where your R is H. That means ये R जो है वो तुम्हारा H है, तो वहाँ पे H you put, then you have this with NH2, this you have COOH and this is H. So this amino acid is called as glycine. You understanding? So this is glycine. ठीक है. Next amino acid which they have got is alanine. Alanine में यहाँ पे H की जगह what is the thing? You have CH2 or CH3. You have C, here NH2, you have CH, COOH. इसका नाम हो जाता है alanine. So in that way there are number of amino acids and then R groups are also given to you. You need not learn the R groups, just you should be able to classify these amino acids into neutral amino acids, basic amino acids or acidic amino acids. ठीक है, so I will just dictate to you, you will just mark it in your textbooks. Glycine, it is neutral amino acid. Okay, alanine, it is neutral amino acid. Valine is neutral amino acids. Leucine is neutral amino acid. Okay, isoleucine, again it is neutral amino acid. Arginine, it is basic. Wherever neutral है वहाँ पे N लगाते जाओ और basic में B लगाओ और acidic में A लगाओ. That will help you to mark it in the textbook itself. Okay, arginine is basic amino acid, lysine is basic amino acid, glutamic acid, it is having the word acid in it, it indicates indicates that it is an acidic amino acid. Aspartic acid is acidic amino acid. Okay. Glutamine, it is neutral in nature. Asparagine, it is acidic in nature. Okay. Threonine, it is neutral. Serine, neutral. Cysteine, neutral. Methionine, neutral. Phenylalanine, neutral. Tyrosine, neutral. Tryptophan, neutral. Histidine, it is basic in nature. And proline, it is neutral in nature. Okay? Once more I will go through it. Please check it out. Glycine is neutral in nature. Alanine is neutral. Valine, neutral. Leucine, neutral. Isoleucine, neutral. Arginine, basic. Lysine, basic. Glutamic acid, aspartic acid, both are acidic. Glutamine, neutral. Asparagine, it is acidic in nature. Threonine, neutral. Serine, neutral. Cysteine, neutral. Methionine, neutral. Phenylalanine, neutral. Tyrosine, neutral. Tryptophan, neutral. Histidine, बेसिक है और प्रोलीन जो है वो न्यूट्रल है. ठीक है. इन सबका 3 लेटर सिंबल्स भी दिया हुआ है. ग्लाइसिन का GLY है, एलानिन का AL है A, वैलिन का VAL, ल्यूसीन का LEU, देन आइसोल्यूसीन का ILE है, आर्जिनिन का ARG, लाइसिन का LYS, ग्लूटामिक एसिड का GLU, एस्पार्टिक एसिड ASP, ग्लूटामाइन इट इज GLN, asparagine ASN, threonine THR, serine SER, cysteine CSY, methionine MET, phenylalanine PHE, tyrosine it is TYR, tryptophan it is TRP, histidine HIS and proline is PR. Okay, और सभी का 1 letter code भी दिया हुआ है. जब भी these are not very much useful now, for higher studies you will be using all this. 1 letter code भी दिया हुआ है, that also you can go through. Okay, so in that is how you can classify the alpha amino acids to acidic, basic and neutral. The second way of classification of amino acid is the essential amino acids and the non-essential amino acids. Okay, the amino acids which are synthesized in your body, that is non-essential. Already it is being synthesized in your body, so you need not take it from outside. But essential amino acids hai, that is to be taken in your food. Okay, so in the table itself the essential amino acids are marked with an asterisk. So that is to be learned separately, because this table में से objective questions are coming, so you have to learn this. So asterisk वाले जो कि essential amino acids है, वो वैलिन है, ल्यूसीन है, आइसोल्यूसीन है, आर्जिनिन है, लाइसिन है, थ्रियोनिन है, मिथियोनिन है, फिनाइलएलानिन, ट्रिप्टोफैन, हिस्टिडाइन. ये सब essential amino acids है. That means you have to take in your diet to have it. Okay, it is not synthesized in your body. The rest of it is synthesized in your body. ठीक है, तो वो तुम लोग याद कर लेना. You can classify in your notebook also कि what is non-essential amino acid and what is essential amino acid. Okay. Coming to physical properties, amino acids, no, they are usually colorless होते हैं, crystalline होते हैं. This you can read from your text itself. The amino acids are usually colorless, crystalline solids, water soluble होते हैं, high melting solids होते हैं, and they behave like salts rather than simple amines or कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड. ये बात इंपॉर्टेंट है कि ये जो अमीनो एसिड्स है ना, दे आर बिहेविंग लाइक अ सॉल्ट, नॉट सिंपली एज एन अमाइंस या कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड. अभी यहाँ पे जब हम अल्फा अमीनो एसिड कहते हैं, देयर आर 2 ग्रुप्स इन इट. दिस इज NH2 which is a basic group and this is COOH which is a acidic group. तो ये दोनों इंटरैक्ट करके it will behave as a salt. So that is what is shown here. You can see here, this is CH, NH2, COOH, alpha amino acid. Alpha amino acids में this particular H, it migrate towards NH2. There is an interaction here. ठीक है, तो ये H यहाँ migrate हो जाता है सॉल्ट फॉर्म है, इसका एक स्पेशल नाम होता है जिसे हम कहते हैं स्वीटर आयन. फॉलो. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज स्वीटर आयन. ओके. In aqueous solution, the carboxyl group can lose a proton and amino acid can accept a proton. Carboxyl group is losing a proton, that is the H plus ion is lost from the carboxyl group and it gets formed and amine group can accept it. Okay? Giving rise to a dipolar ion. This is also called as a dipolar ion because there are two signs, oppositely charged ions है. Dipolar ion. This is also called as dipolar ion या फिर इसको कहते हैं स्वीटर आयन. ठीक है. This is neutral but it contains both positive and negative charges. In sweeter ion, amino acids show amphoteric behavior. Acid react can both with acid and the base. So this is amphoteric in nature. What is it? It is amphoteric. Amphoteric मतलब जिसमें acidic. It has the tendency to behave as an acid also and it has the tendency to behave as a base also. So this sweeter ion is called as it is a dipolar ion. It is neutral in nature because both positive and negative charges are there. It is a dipolar ion means इसमें दोनों ही ions present है, negative positive दोनों, और amphoteric होता है. Okay. Then except glycine, all naturally occurring amino acids are optically active. ये भी very important line, you have to underline it. कि glycine के अलावा सारे ही जो compounds हैं of the amino acids, they are all optically active. Optically active compounds are those compounds where you have at least one asymmetric carbon. Asymmetric carbon मतलब जहाँ पे कार्बन इज बॉन्डेड टू 4 डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स. तो यहाँ पे अल्फा, दिस इज योर ग्लाइसिन, यहाँ पे योर आर इज एच, तो ये तुम्हारा ग्लाइसिन हो गया. ग्लाइसिन में यू कैन सी दिस पर्टिकुलर कार्बन इज हैविंग 2 हाइड्रोजन एटम्स, दैट मींस सेम ग्रुप. एसिमेट्रिक कार्बन के लिए यू शुड हैव दिस कार्बन हैविंग 4 डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स. जैसे एलिमेंट में है, यहाँ पे देखो ACH3 है, यहाँ पे C is bonded to NH2, here CWH and one of it is bonded to, अगर मैं ये H यहाँ नीचे लिख दूँ तो यहाँ देखो कार्बन is bonded to 4 different groups. So this is an asymmetric carbon. ठीक है. And asymmetric carbon जहाँ पे है, those compounds behave, they are optically active. They have the tendency to rotate the plane polarized light either towards the right or towards the left. Okay, so that is what we mean by optically active. Okay. Most naturally occurring amino acids have L configuration. L amino acids are represented by writing the NH2 group on the left hand side. So always L group होता है. L capital L indicates that in carbohydrates capital L means where the OH group is towards the right. left. L में left होता है, D में right होता है. Amino acids में जब हम देखते हैं तो जब NH2 group is towards the left, then it will be called as L amino acid. So this is your L amino acids. And naturally occurring amino acids are all L series वाले. ठीक है? So that is what it is obtained. Okay, this is what are the informations given regarding the amino acids. Another important point is not given in your book, but you should know कि ये जो डाइपोलर दिस एमिनो एसिड नो, sorry, here it should be 2. Okay, this amino acid, this is the amino acid, isn't it? This amino acids in presence of H plus ions, that is in acidic medium, it will be remaining as a cation. Okay, that is in acidic medium, it will remain as cation. Okay, and in the basic medium it will remain as the anion. Okay, it will remain as your anion, and that anion when it is subjected to an electric field. In acidic medium, if the amino acid solution is subjected to electric field, you will find that these ions, they have the tendency to migrate towards the negatively charged plate. Okay, there is an electric field applied, so it will move towards the negative electrode. Okay, or when it is in the alkaline medium, this ion will move to the positive electrode. Okay, but there will be a particular pH at which this ion does not migrate towards the any of the electrode, neither the positive electrode nor the negative electrode, and that pH is called as isoelectric point of that amino acid. Okay, so isoelectric point, which is represented by Pi. Okay, what is it? Isoelectric point. इसको कहते हैं small letter P, capital letter I. Okay, and how is it defined? It is defined as the pH at which the amino acid does not migrate to the positive or negative electrode when electric field is applied. Okay, and about this physical properties, I can write it properly. Okay, when electric field is applied. So I hope this is clear. Okay. फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज में हमने क्या क्या डिस्कस किया था? क्रिस्टलाइन होता है, वाटर सॉल्युबल होता है, हाई मेल्टिंग सॉलिड होता है. Okay, so that is physical properties. It's given in your book. You can go one by one. Then next thing is that this alpha amino acid, it has the tendency to remain in the form of a dipolar ion, which is called as Zwitter ion, and it is amphoteric in nature. Okay. Also, we had discussed here that this ion, alpha amino acid, it will be remaining as a cation in acidic medium. It will remain as anion in alkaline medium, and there will be a particular pH at which that an alpha amino acid, it does not migrate either to the positive electrode or to the negative electrode, and that pH is called as the isoelectric point of the amino acid. Got it, everyone? Okay, so you can please note this down. Look here, there was a mistake in writing कि ये NH3 plus form में रहता है, और ये that is the Zwitter ion we are taking. Okay, not the because it is existing in the form of a dipolar ion. The alpha amino acid has the tendency to remain as a dipolar ion, and this dipolar ion, it is NH3 plus here and COO minus. I have written it this form, so please correct yourself. Here it should be NH3 plus and here it should be COO minus. And this particular dipolar ion in the acidic medium, it will have tendency to remain as a cation, and in the basic medium, it will have the tendency to remain as an anion. Okay, so this particular ion will not migrate either towards the positive electrode or to the negative electrode in the applied electric field. That pH is called as the isoelectric point. Okay, where it does not migrate to the positive or negative electrode when there is an applied electric field. I hope it is clear. So please make the corrections. I have written here the alpha amino acid in this form, but actually this alpha amino acid will exist as a dipolar ion. So please put the dipolar ion here. Okay. Thank you. Now we will try to understand how the polypeptide chain is being formed. Polypeptide chain, where you have two amino acids being joined by a linkage which we call as peptide linkage. What is this linkage called as? It's called as peptide linkage. ठीक है, यहाँ पे what do you observe? You observe that NH2CH2COOH ये कौन सा amino acid है? This is your glycine amino acid. Okay, this glycine amino acid is forming a peptide linkage with ये तुम्हारा alanine है. It is alanine. ठीक है, अब ये दोनों there is a condensation polymerization occurring here where you are removing a water molecule and that amide linkage is amide functional group is being produced. तो यहाँ पे you can find that glycine and alanine combine to give a dipeptide जिसका नाम है dipeptide which has the name glycylalanine. Okay, short form में GLYALA लिख सकते हैं. This is glycylalanine. ठीक है, तो ये जो linkage है between the two it is called as the peptide linkage. Similarly here also you can see the peptide linkage. यहाँ पे लेकिन we have taken alanine first. Okay, alanine and then you have this glycine. इसका नाम हो जाएगा alanine glycine. Alanine glycine. ठीक है, तो here this is how the peptide formation is taking place and this is like it can be extended. Again this CO can be bonded with another alanine group. Suppose let us say some other group amino acid like say alanine group is again joined here. So how will the then it will become a tripeptide. Okay, so यहाँ पे H and H, this was alanine plus glycine. I will write it here so that you can show the tripeptide formation. I will rub out this. Okay, यहाँ पे हमने दो लेके किया था. Now we will try to take three of the groups, three of the amino acids, alanine, glycine and one more alanine ही ले लेते हैं. That is CH3HCOOH. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे OH and water molecule again will be removed here. तो यहाँ you will get a compound of this form NH2CH3HCONH. Then you have CHHCONH minus 2H2I. Two molecules of water is removed here. Okay, NH. Then you have CONH. Okay, then you have CH3HCOOH. So this is alanine, GLYAL. तो ये tripeptide है. Okay, so you can see tripeptide. So similarly, a polypeptide can be formed on either sides. The number of amino acids will go on increasing, then you will form the polypeptide chain. Okay. Now we come to the classification of proteins. Okay, classifications of proteins you can classify on the basis of the molecular structure. Okay, so on the basis of molecular structure you can classify the proteins into fibrous proteins and globular protein. Okay, so let us learn about that. First you can note this down. Proteins can be classified into fibrous proteins and globular protein. Okay, so you can write it as a difference: fibrous proteins, and you can have it as globular proteins. Okay, so fibrous proteins and globular proteins. Fibrous proteins are thread-like. Okay, red line. That is, they are linear. Okay, placed one over the other. Okay, while globular proteins, no, they are spherical in shape. It is spherical in shape, just like a sphere. और वो spheres में भी कैसा होगा? Suppose I am indicating this as the globular protein. It is spherical in shape. Outside में it is having a polar group, and inside में it has a lipophilic group. Lipophilic group. Lipophilic group means it is fat soluble. ठीक है? While polar group it is soluble in water. So this is the reason why fibrous proteins, they are insoluble. It is insoluble in water. While globular proteins, they are soluble in water. Why they are soluble in water? Because these polar groups, they interact with H2O. H2O के साथ there will be an interaction, because of which it becomes soluble with water. Okay. Then next we can have the fibrous protein. It is having disulfide linkage. It is having disulfide linkage and H bond as the interaction between them. ठीक है? जैसे ये तुम्हारा एक लेयर ऑफ प्रोटीन है, दूसरा लेयर ऑफ प्रोटीन है, तो यहाँ पे you have a sulfide linkage. Okay, along with H bond, there will be sulfide linkage this way. So there is a disulfide linkage and H bond as the intermolecular forces existing between them. Okay. While here you will find all the different kinds. You will have H bond, then you have van der Waals force, okay, van der Waals force. You also have disulfide linkage. All different kind of interactions are available with globular protein. Okay. Even dipolar linkage. So all these different kind of interactions are available here. Okay. So this is how you can differentiate between globular protein and the fibrous proteins. Okay. Globular protein, again you can have different classification as primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Okay, all of them, they have different structures also. Primary globular protein, they will have a particular kind of a structure. Similarly, all of them will have different kind of structure. We are not going into the detail of it. Okay, so fibrous proteins and globular proteins, you can differentiate it in this manner. Okay, you can please copy down. Now we will take the topic denaturation of protein. Denature of protein means the properties of protein are lost. Properties of protein are lost. Okay. Best example you can take is about egg. Egg, you know, it is having white part and then yellow part. Okay. When egg raw condition में, you will find that both are watery or liquid in nature. Even the albumin will be semi-solid in nature, while the white part is liquid in nature. But as soon as you boil it, what do you observe? You observe that the white part has solidified and now you have a hard egg, isn't it? Nothing is flowing. So that is what we call as denaturation of protein. The protein has lost its properties. Okay, so the denaturation of protein takes place by certain ways, like heating. Heating is one method of denaturation of protein. Then you have heating. You can even write it as change in temperature. Okay, change in temperature. Then you can have the other way, adding or change in pH. You can write instead of adding the acid or a base. Instead of that, you can simply write it as change in pH. If the protein substance may you are changing the pH, then you will find that the denaturation of protein has taken place. जैसे milk you know it contains milk proteins in it. Okay, that protein is added with some say for example some curdling material like citric acid or lemon juice. When you put it into the milk, what would you observe? You observe that the milk has curdle मतलब सारा जो उसमें proteins था वो aggregate हो जाता है. Okay, so that is again losing the property of the milk has lost its property, isn't it? So making of that is the making of paneer. So you are changing the pH and the curdling takes place, it loses its property. So change in pH. Second is addition of some solvent. Okay, addition of some solvent. Okay, any solvent if you are using or any chemical you are using, solvent or chemical if you are using, then it will change the protein's properties or properties of the protein are lost and it will be disturbed, denatured. Okay, it will be denatured. Okay, this was all about the protein which we had to study. Next we have to take the nucleic acid. Nucleic acid is another biomolecule which is present in our nucleus of the cell, and that is a very important topic, so that we will cover in the next class. Okay, thank you.